This is a Gen Z Future Fortunes podcast, hosted by Jordan Johnson. This podcast will help you in the following areas: money management skills, teaching you to control your debt, building wealth building strategies, entrepreneurship, and most importantly, to show you how you can do this yourself. So tune in and turn up.
My high school years were consumed by football practice, workouts, and training. From 2010 to 2012, I attended over 50 college camps across the country. I've been to schools such as USC, UCLA, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio State, Penn State, and more. And about 90% of these camps, my dad stood on the sideline and coached me up and watched me perform.
Welcome back to another episode of Gen Z Future Fortunes. It's been a while. I haven't recorded. I think it's been some months. Last time we were here, we got some good interviews in. But today I have with me Indee Sanders. I'm going to let her introduce herself, so go ahead, tell the people a little about yourself, what you do for a living. I'll let you go from there.
All right, well, as Jordan said, my name is Indee Sanders. I'm currently a property and casualty insurance agent at State Farm. I specialize in selling home and auto, but I sell a lot of home as well. I've been in the industry for about 6.5 years now, and I will be in the industry for a while longer.
And can you tell the people how old you are?
21.
So I'm excited that I'm interviewing another ambitious young black person. That's something that excites me because that's something I am myself. You said you've been in the business for about 6 years?
6.5. Mm-hmm.
You can get started in insurance that young?
Well, I started off, you can't get your license until you're 18, but I started off just calling people for payments and just doing like administrative work around the office, faxing, copying, filing, things like that. But starting there, I started there at 15, and then starting there, doing that actually made it easier to get into the property and casualty side of things.
So can you explain, for the people that don't know, can you explain property and casualty?
So property and casualty is just...
Well, that I'm included. I don't know what that means. So.
It's just a fancy way of saying auto and home insurance, basically. But it's just a blanket term for like business auto, personal auto, all types of home insurance, like homeowners, renters, landlord, commercial, things like that.
And before we even started recording, you did express to me that insurance is not actually what you want to do. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, I actually want to be a patent attorney when I graduate college. I'm in undergrad right now. My major is biology, but I'm hoping to get into Columbia University. But the insurance actually, I think, will help me when I get to law school because of the material. It's kind of similar.
Now, you did say that you were, when you were about 15, that you were doing sort of like internship work. Mm-hmm. Can you explain like the importance of doing work, not necessarily looking for like a paycheck, but doing it so that you can understand the business or understand what you're doing before you actually get into like making money from it?
Oh yeah. Well, one thing that I got out of it for sure is discipline and responsibility. A lot of people my age, when I was 15, they didn't have jobs like that. And so I think it really helped me maturity-wise. And then when you're getting into the business, after you turn 18, you can get your license. It's like I said, it's easier to, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's easier to execute the job once you get your license.
That's something I'm kind of in that stage now because, like you say, I don't have my license yet. I'm actually studying to get my real estate license. I'm not licensed yet, but I'm almost done with my classes. But I've been working with Julius, so I feel like working with him even before I get licensed and like kind of learning the ins and outs of the business and seeing different things like from different perspectives. I feel like it's going to help me once I actually do get licensed because I'll be ahead of the curve, so to speak. Let's see. Like I said, I don't have anything prepared. Y'all bear with me, please. It's not going to be perfect, but you explain to the people what a patent attorney is? I did realize that you said you wanted to be a patent attorney.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, a patent attorney helps people get things patented, and then also they help people in the event that someone tries to steal their invention. I'm not completely well versed on what a patent attorney does just yet, but I will be in the future.
If you're not well versed, what makes you want to be one? I have to ask you.
Well, I know for sure that I want to be a lawyer, because I do like an office type job. State Farm let me know that. And then I also do like a demanding job, and one that's challenging. But I want it to be a type of lawyer that is not very common, and then also something that I can do with my degree, because to be a patent attorney you need a degree in a science, and I was already a biology major, so I thought that I could use that for law school.
So would you say that you picked your path after you decided to go to college and like pick your major and stuff?
Well, no, my major I already knew when I was in high school what I wanted to major in. But my career, I didn't really solidify what I wanted to do until I got to college, my second year.
So, from the few minutes that we've been talking, I've kind of gotten an idea that you're a very ambitious person. I can sense that. So can I ask you, like, in your upbringing, like from when you were born to now you're 21 years old, you said, what would you say contributed, like what are some things you say contributed to like the kind of mindset you have?
Definitely my mother.
Your mother?
Yeah, definitely. Outside of my job, I've always had to be more mature than kids my age, because my mom, she has a chronic illness, and so that can kind of force you to grow up a lot quicker than your peers. And then even despite that, she showed me that, even through hardships, you should always try to be ambitious, and not let your hardships, stop what you're doing in life.
You say that you're a very disciplined person.
Well, I'm trying to be a disciplined person. I'm not quite there yet. I do suffer from, I'd say, procrastination at times, but I've gotten a lot better in
I
recent
feel
years.
like we all suffer from procrastination at some way or another, some aspect or another. But I don't want to keep getting lost. Do you have any questions for me? Anything that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, I just like for you to expand on why you decided to get into real estate.
Why I decided to get into real estate? Like I was saying before we actually started rolling, I knew at around 10th or 11th grade that I didn't want to go to college, and so I had to start looking for things that I could do career-wise that didn't require a degree. And so I don't really think I was doing like super intensive homework. Like I just think I was just going through high school, getting my work done, and then I feel like real estate just fell in my lap. It was just something I'm naturally interested in. Like I just like homes, like going to open houses, just walking around, seeing stuff. So I feel like I have a natural attraction towards real estate. And then I guess I started doing more in-depth research and homework with it. Like after school, I would go home and watch YouTube videos on real estate agents and what real estate agents do and like how much money they make, things like that. And I feel like over time, I just started to gain more interest for it and just see. I feel like I just felt like I could be not necessarily just a real estate agent because I want to take it further than that. Like my actual desire is to be a real estate investor. So I want to have a large investment portfolio. And really, my ultimate goal in life is to be able to do whatever I want. So I don't want to have to work for anybody. I currently work at Amazon. I work 10-hour shifts, and that's not it. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I definitely don't. So real estate, I feel like that's just a way to unlock the life of freedom that I'm pursuing, the life of waking up whenever I feel like it. Of course, I already know I'm going to have to, it's going to be work regardless. So I know that work is inevitable. You can't do anything in this life without working for it. So I understand that, but I feel like real estate is just that thing that it's not going to feel like work, if that makes sense. Like I can get up every day. I don't drag my feet. It's not like I'm waking up every day like, dang, I have to go to work. And so I feel like that's just something that real estate can provide for me. And also, like I was saying, I aspire to be a multi-millionaire. I know that's going to come. That's in my future. So real estate, that's just something I feel like it's mandatory to be a multimillionaire. You have to own real estate. I feel like there's no way around it. So I feel like that's what real estate means to me. That's why I want to get into real estate so bad. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see where it takes me.
That's a good reason to be in real estate, I think.
What would you say your ultimate goal in life is? If you could sum it up in one thing, one sentence.
My ultimate goal in life would probably be the most cliche thing to say, but to be happy.
The most cliche things are the most true because I feel like it doesn't take much to please humans. Like, we're simple. It doesn't take a lot. Can you elaborate on being happy though?
I don't know. I don't think being happy really has a definition.
No, that's actually true.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I would just like to be in a point in my life where I am content with every aspect of it, or at least almost every aspect of it.
I feel you. I definitely want to travel the world, see all types of things. I don't want to just be locked down to one place. I want to see everything. I want to be able to experience all of life's wonders. So I feel like that's what makes me very ambitious, because you don't want to just see the things that, like, if you're, let's say you're born in Cleveland, you don't want to live in Cleveland your whole life and never experience anything outside of the world. So I'm actually not even from Cleveland. I'm from Maryland.
Oh, really?
So,
Well, I'm from Cleveland, but I've lived in 2 other states, South Carolina and Georgia.
did you like
Before I
those?
moved back. I like Georgia.
Why not South Carolina?
Well, the place or the city that we lived in Columbia. It was not a lot to do there. And the weather wasn't that great. It just wasn't my favorite place.
What about Georgia would you say that you like?
The people were nice. The weather was nice. And then I felt like there were a lot of opportunities in Georgia. A lot of job opportunities or leisurely activities. Just a lot to do in Georgia.
That's how I feel out here. Like, going from Maryland to Cleveland, I have family out here, but like I don't have any friends out here. So I've been here for about 8 or 9 months. It's been kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. All I've been doing is working and studying, but I understand that I'm building a foundation for the life that I just described to you. So I'm not really mad about it. I've just been going through my motions, making my money, studying, learning as much as I can. So we're gonna see where it takes me. I'm looking forward to. I'm not rushing my process. I'm trying not to. That's a big thing for me. I'm trying not to rush my process. I'm trying to trust God more. And not really be anxious and not have like uncertainty dwelling on me, like hanging over me. So.
Follow us on Equity Movement 247 on all the social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
Do you believe in God? Would you say, like, do you believe in a religion or more spiritual? Because I'm more spiritual, yeah. I'm more spiritual. Like, I'm not really the type of person, I don't feel like I have to force church. I don't go to church that often, but I pray every day. I feel like I have a close relationship with God. There are definitely days where I wake up and I'm like, wow, I really don't feel like going to work, or I don't feel like doing something, but I just have to keep pushing through. I gotta understand, like I said, I gotta trust my process and just keep going for what I want. Can you think of anything else you feel like you want to talk about?
As far as car insurance, I would hope people have it because it's a law in Ohio to at least have the minimum coverage. But car insurance is definitely important. It's important if you can afford it. It's important to have over the minimum because you never know if you can get into an accident. You never know if you do get into an accident, if the damage is going to be way more than your insurance covers you for, and then you would be responsible for the excess. But I think one thing that young people really don't think about is home insurance, which is not just for homeowners, it's also for renters as well, which covers people in dorms, covers them if they live at home with their parents, It covers them if they have personal belongings in their car, and let's say someone broke into their car, because I know that happens a lot down in Cleveland State. That's not covered under car insurance. That would be covered under a home policy. And so, yeah. So that's a very important thing to have as well.
How much do you feel like you know a lot about life insurance? 'Cause I feel like that's something that, especially Black people, I'm the type of person, I believe in generational wealth. That's something I'm working towards building for my family, my future family that I plan on building. But generational wealth, I feel like that's something that, especially people like us, I feel like that's a big point of emphasis that we need to focus on. And because Black people, we know that historically we don't pass down wealth to the next generation. We typically pass down problems, debt, stuff like just bad things. We don't pass down wealth. We don't pass down property, stocks. So, can you just speak on life insurance or what you know about it?
Well, ironically, I'm actually taking my life and health class this week. I'm hoping to take the test and pass next week. But life insurance is definitely very important for people to get, especially when they're young, because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I heard that getting life insurance when you're younger is actually better than waiting till you get to like the age that you feel like you're gonna need it.
Exactly. Not only because at the point where you need it, you might not be eligible for it, but at that point it will be way more expensive than if you were to just to get it when you were younger. Not to mention it's cheaper and you can get way more coverage if you get it when you're younger than when you're older. So let's say you're paying $20 a month for, it's just off the top of my head, for $50,000 worth of coverage. You would be paying like $50 20 years later for like $25,000 worth of coverage. So you should definitely get it while you're young.
That's something I feel like I need to look more into. I don't want to rush it, like I said, but I'm just trying to be well informed about all the, like everything in life, like taxes, the economy, real estate, insurance. I feel like I just want to have a general understanding of everything in life so that I don't have to miss out on opportunities. Like I want to be able to play at the highest level possible. I've recently got. Do you invest in stocks?
No.
You invest at all?
I've dabbled, but I've not really completely dove into that.
I recently started investing in stocks. I have a Robinhood brokerage account, so I've been putting money in there. It's actually interesting. At first, I was kind of discouraged because I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I've been watching a lot of videos lately. I got a few books, so I feel like I can do good in the stock market, and that'll just be another source of income. Because to be a multimillionaire, you gotta have at least 7. That's what they say, at least 7. But definitely a good amount of income coming in from different sources. So I feel like that's what I'm working on. Can you explain, for the people that want to get into insurance that are watching, can you explain what the process is like the coursework, how rigorous it is, how disciplined you have to be?
Yes. Okay. So you have multiple classes, but the two that are most common is property and casualty and then life and health, which are 2 separate courses. Where property and casualty is one, and then life and health is another. Usually you start with property and casualty, but you can do both around the same time. The class itself, I've been taking classes at Hondros. And
That's where I take my real estate
Oh,
class.
really? Yeah, so I don't know if the real estate classes are, as quick, because the life insurance classes, no. Yeah, they're just a week, and that's it. Like this week, like I said, I've been taking life and health classes, and I've had to stay at the office from 8:30 until 5:30, and it's just nothing but insurance.
Do you do your classes online or in person?
So it's a live stream right now because they're not doing classes for the life and health class right now. So it's kind of like a hybrid of the two. But I do prefer in class. I think you get more for your money when you
Yeah,
go.
I prefer in person.
Yeah.
I think I've been studying my classes since about January. And so I've just been reading off the computer like every day after work. It gets kind of boring and like, what am I doing? Like I'm just staring at a computer reading words, but I try my best not to overlook anything. I'm trying to make sure that I actually understand the information and I'm not just skipping through it because I made an investment, I paid good money, so I don't want to just throw it away. So, but yeah, the real estate classes are definitely not short. I think it's about 120 hours of content.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's 120 hours of like reading.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of reading.
Yeah, it's 24 hours for property and casualty, 24 hours for life and health, so 48 hours. Yeah. So they dump a lot of information into your head in 1 week, and then it's best to take the test as soon as the class is over. So like I said, I finish tomorrow, and I'm hoping to take my test like Wednesday of next week. But I mean, when I took the property and casualty test, I passed the first time, so it's not impossible. And thank you. It's not impossible. It's not.
And so is there a different license for property and casualty and then life and health?
Yeah.
And so you're working on your life and health now?
Yeah, so that can be fully licensed.
So you have your property and casualty. And so it's two license components to being an insurance agent?
It's actually way more than that. So that's just kind of like the basic life and health and property and casualty is kind of like your base licenses. Then you can get a license to become a biological broker. You can get your license to sell annuities. There's a bunch, like I can't even name them all, but there's a bunch that you can have. They're not necessary or mandatory, but they're good to have if you plan to make a career out of insurance.
I feel like that's the point I had with real estate. Like I don't have my license yet, like I said, but I'm already looking at like other certifications and like I'm looking to educate myself beyond just having my license. Like I know there are a lot of courses that you can take, like being a real estate appraiser, being a home inspector. So I feel like once I get my real estate license, I'll start looking to find other certifications that can just put me deeper into the real estate world so that I can just have an array of options to just explore with. And so at that point, it's just going to be nothing stopping me. I feel like that's a great thing to have, options, just be able to not do whatever you want, but just don't limit yourself, basically, is what I'm saying. Is there anything you would like to tell the viewers, young? Well, the podcast is generally focused towards younger people, but I'm sure there are going to be older people watching. But focus on young people. Is there anything like high school age, middle school? Is there one thing you would like to tell the people about like pursuing a life of excellence, prosperity, building the life you want for yourself and not settling? Like, what would you tell people?
Well, I think, because I just learned this, you don't have to have everything figured out so young, because I think since maybe the 5th grade, I just knew that I wanted to be a doctor. And that's what I've been telling people for so many years. And then when I got to college, internally I was like, I really don't want to be a doctor, but I've been telling people that this is what I'm going to do. And if I switch now, it's like I have nothing else. I don't know what I'll do. But you don't have to have. Actually, I feel like if you force yourself into a career or into a decision, you might end up unhappy in the end because it's not actually what you want to do. So I think, young people should give themselves time to figure things out.
I definitely agree with you. To add on to that, I would just say, look for something that you can do without being paid. If you can find something that you're that passionate about that you don't worry about the money, if you just do that to the best of your ability and you trust your process, the money is going to follow. So I feel like you just need to find what you're passionate about and just find a way to monetize it, find a way to make money from it, and you'll be fine. I feel like we got a great interview. Anything else you want to say? Any closing words, any closing remarks?
I think we covered it all.
Well, great interview. Thank you, Indee.
Thank you.
That was another episode.
House Notes TV, where we will be bringing you information about the home buyer experience as well as resources to help you through it.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast. This was produced by Equity Movement 247 to reach this incredible group of young individuals. Guess what, Gen Z? You're up next. So follow us at Gen Z Future Fortunes at Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,